Are we popping? Or are we not popping? Because we live.
All right, we live.
We live.
So we're gonna give everybody a minute to kind of join. I'm gonna check my phone to make sure I'm live on my page.
So while he's doing that, and make sure everybody's sharing. Welcome to Live with T and Q.
Boom.
Wednesday, if it's hump day, we're here sitting in these chairs, get ready to bring you the biz night.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes. And today's business includes
what?
Stimulus check talk.
Woo, baby! I went to sleep last. I talk about it.
Cussing out your kids and apologizing for it.
And what else?
Stop streaming Anita Baker's music.
What, Nita man?
And
hashtag Nita man.
And the best of all, guys, we have the legendary singing group, The Whispers. Now, if you guys know me, you know that is like some music I love. That is, those are artists that were part of the soundtrack of me growing up. Like, I promise you, I'm going to tell y'all a few of the little stories.
About the Whispers.
About their music and all that other stuff. But they'll be joining us at 8:30, so I'm definitely excited about that.
Let me tell y'all, he's been talking about the Whispers ever since the Whispers have been booked. So the part about it is Q and I.
I think that was about a month ago.
Yes,
so we
talked about this. Q and I it's so funny that Q's a little bit older than me. I mean, younger than me. I'm sorry, he's a little bit younger than me.
Yeah, just a little
bit.
A little bit.
But when it comes to music and a whole lot of stuff, Q was actually like 15 years older than me. Like, he really loves the old music. He's always talking about me listening to all this other music. So when
she listens to rap.
Yeah, I listen to everything. But where he's
everything
like,
rap.
when we're talking about the Whispers, he likes all the older songs from the Whispers, stuff that my mama liked. My mom is excited, by the way, and your mom and our families are excited because they're watching. And I like the newer stuff. I remember growing up listening and singing to the 80s Whisper. So this is going to be real, real fun. We're going to have a good time with this show tonight. I'm excited.
I'm absolutely excited. So if you guys are watching us on Facebook, please share. In about 26 minutes, we're going to be live with the gentleman of the Whispers. And if you guys are tuned in on Instagram, we're going to have the Whispers streaming in the background. So you'll be able to hear it and see it and be a part of the conversation. Or you guys can head over to Facebook and follow us. Our page is Live with TMarie And Que. Live with TMarie And Que. And from there, you'll be able to see the video. Or if you're connected on either one of our personal pages, you guys will be able to see it. And you'll be able to see it in replays and reshares and retweets and all that good stuff. So
go look and share. If you're not doing anything, go ahead and share.
Call your mama, your grandmama, your auntie.
Everybody know.
All the cookout people.
Yeah.
They're going to know
who the Whispers are. And they don't want to be there. So go ahead and put them on.
Ooh, so what has been going on in this?
What? Tell me. You done came with the good juice today. We was on the phone yesterday for a long time. But tell me about Nita. What's wrong with Nita?
So Anita Baker, as y'all know, that's also another one of my favorite artists.
Right.
Anita Baker now wants everybody to stop streaming her music on Spotify.
Why?
And it's not because she's mad at us, because we ain't do nothing.
Because, last time she didn't want to sing for us. She wasn't coming back out and do a concert or nothing.
And then she gave us a whole concert, a 2-year retirement concert.
Right, okay.
I personally loved it, but moving on. So, I guess what happens is most artists, when they had signed contracts back in the day, their contracts were good for about 30 years.
Okay.
As far as the record labels and things like that, owning the masters to their songs.
Okay, yeah.
Most people were fortunate enough to work out deals where they end up getting the masters for their songs, but her contract had to expire for her to now own the masters to her songs.
And so has it expired or no?
Over the last couple of years, it has.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the record company has not been. They haven't been giving her
stuff.
Yeah, she does not have her masters.
So who has her masters now? What record company are we talking about?
I don't know, but all I know is the record company has given them to Spotify. And Spotify right now is, the people that are streaming and making the most money off of her music. So, she's mad because she's like, well, hell, I'm the one selling the songs and Spotify is making all this money off of me and I'm not making nothing.
These record companies have no mercy. They don't even care. It's all about the money.
But then it's the streaming companies as well because, look at it back in the day. you know, they used to make money off of the units that they sold.
Absolutely.
If you had to get up and go in, what was it, Sam Goody? I think one was called Coconut.
Right.
Go to the record stores. You had to get up and go in the record store. Now,
Camelot Music, because I used to be a manager at Camelot Music.
It wasn't Coconut, it was
Camelot Music, yes. Yeah.
But
here's the thing, though, but the record companies, in order, you know, because if you have your masters, as long as you're if they're streaming the music, you're still getting money from that. But if you don't own those masters, then you're not getting anything. They're like cutting you out completely.
Yeah.
So the record company is the one, you know, I get the streaming company. I mean, that's just where we are right now. So that's where it comes with you owning your own music and owning the masters to your music, so you can get plays off the streaming.
Yeah. So Anita says until she officially gets the masters to her music and she's able to work out the deal for herself, she doesn't want us to stream. So luckily for people like me, I still got the CDs. I gotta find a CD player.
Right. Because who's got that? Well, Anita, whatever it takes to make you happy, baby. Whatever it takes to make you smile.
Be caught up in the rapture of that music.
Right.
So we get the masters.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope that works out for her.
Yeah, I hope it works out too. Nita, you next. We love you. We getting you on here too.
Come on, Nita, pray.
Well, speaking of cussing people out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, if you guys have been paying attention to what's been going on in the world, last week what's today?
Today's the Wednesday.
So probably within the last week or so, Kirk Franklin has been making news, the big gospel guy, because he and his 31-year-old son have been going through it for years, and that's not anything new. You know, his son has put things out before. Excuse me, about, you know, the things that him and his father have gone through. It's unfortunate, but, you know, he's trying to get attention. And, you know, that's how he feels he can get the attention from his father, I guess, that he wants and needs. Well,
you need to go to counseling.
Well, he got on the phone, had a conversation with his daddy the other day. Apparently, he pissed Kirk Franklin all the way smooth off.
Let me tell you, as a parent, it's only so much you can take, child.
Even if you a shepherd of the Lord or whatever.
It don't matter, man, please. It don't matter.
So his son recorded a conversation of them two, and Kirk was going in. Like, this gospel fella used every cuss word just about that is known to man. And I think the end of the conversation, before Kirk hung up on him, he gonna like stomp his whip his or something like that. But
he go stomp on him.
But the thing is, you know, afterwards, Kirk Franklin, I guess this is like a PR thing. He took to social media and issued an apology.
So here's the part. Kirk didn't owe anybody an apology, and let's just start there. Because number one, what was happening was taking place between him and his son, and which should have been a private conversation.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that he was, you know, being recorded. And let's be clear. If somebody was recording some of the stuff that went on in our home without other people knowing, trust and believe they would hear and see some things that we wouldn't want them to hear and see.
Absolutely.
So he owed no one an apology. Absolutely no one. You know, other than for being heard, I guess.
Yeah.
But other than that, come on now, everybody cuss for real. Okay, maybe not everybody.
Everybody cuss. If you use, you know, the simple hell or damn, because those are the cuss words that I started off with when I was younger. You know, I was allowed to use those words. Yeah.
You can cuss at home.
See, but the thing is, now hold on. So my parents caught us cussing. My father, he was definitely more strict when it came to certain stuff. Like, truth be told, and I'm not trying to be nasty, but I could not say fart in his house. As a matter of fact, I still don't think I can. That was considered a cuss word.
Lie was considered a cuss word.
That was nasty.
Mary would have knocked me smooth clean out had she heard us say hell or damn. We don't even say that now. We've grown to death in front of her.
See, but I wasn't like super young. I was like 9 years old, and my mother said, "Oh, you can say hell or that." No, it wasn't like that. I think I was maybe 16 years old, and it wasn't something that I could just walk around and say, "Ma, get your damn hell ass in here and make me like." It wasn't nothing like that.
We couldn't even mess up and mistakenly say it. Like, Mary wasn't having that.
It was. We're very descriptive people in our family. So as you're describing something, sometimes you need those extra words to kind of.
Not as a child.
Well, I wasn't a child. I was a growing fella.
You were 16, so you were still a youth. Okay? But
in the eyes of the law.
But you was grown enough to do what, Q, at 16? What did you do when you was grown up, other than try to maybe get your stuff with? What else were you grown enough to do? Just tell me.
Get a job.
Did you pay bills? You watching these kids and these stimulus checks when they talk about get a job. Could you pay bills? Could you have walked out on your own and got a car payment and got bought groceries and took care of your house? Then you're not grown. And that's what's wrong with these kids now.
Well, if that's the case, most of these people who are over 18 are still not grown.
Absolutely they're not. They're just, we got to understand there's a difference between being grown and being an adult. You are legally an adult by definition at 18. But to be grown.
16 or 17.
Where? What state? Nan.
Age of consent.
Okay.
That's a different thing.
But you are not grown until you are taking care of yourself. Right. And that's what the problem is. People think they're grown and you're not. These kids is 18, 19, 20 in college. Put them out. See what happens. Nothing.
They're going to be right back.
Right back.
They're going to be right back.
Asking me about a stimulus check. Talk about it. Well, Kurt, first of all, it's all good. That was a grown ass son. Excuse my language, not even for real. But he was grown.
And the apology, I mean, I'm not a parent, but truth be told, I just feel like that was done to appeal to his fans and supporters and stuff like that. People. But everybody understands. Everybody who's a parent or anybody who's dealt with children or stuff like that, they understood exactly what it was that Kirk Franklin was dealing with and going through. So they didn't require an apology.
Well, disrespect will make you go there. Disrespect will make you cuss a person all the way out. Smooth all the way out.
And if y'all listen to that recording, you'll absolutely see it.
Smooth out.
You probably would have cussed him out too.
Well, there you go. I looked at his Instagram. I thought
Kurt's or the son.
I could see.
Yeah, he need a good cussing out.
He's reaching though. He's reaching. He really needs to go to counseling. But let's go on to the next thing.
So, as we know, all the stimulus checks for the most part had been processed starting, I think, this past weekend, and people start receiving their stimulus checks. Well, stuff we ain't never thought we would have heard of is now occurring in Indianapolis. Indianapolis man who had a child with a young lady wanted half of her stimulus check. And she didn't want to give it to him. And they went back and forth. They were arguing and all of that other stuff. She even went so far as to say, well,
offer him a little something.
I will give you, I think it was like $450. Yeah. He didn't want it. He wanted half of that stimulus check. Well, after the argument died down, he left. He came back. And he just came back busting caps.
So where's the money?
Busting caps. He shot her. She, as of now, last I heard, she was in like stable or critical condition or something like that. But he shot her 7-year-old daughter. So the child of
it was his child.
No, it was the sister of. It was the baby mama's other child.
Ooh.
Shot her uncle. Shot the baby mama's uncle.
Her brother.
And shot
the mother.
Her mom. Yeah. So the three of them, are no longer with us. But the baby's mother is, like I said, last I was told, she's in the hospital.
And he had kidnapped the baby.
All of $600.
Well, I don't know what he thought she was getting. I mean, I don't know, but all of it, either way, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why do you think obviously he wasn't taking care of the child.
Yeah, probably.
And just like she said, I think in one of the reports she was saying you don't even really do anything for the baby. You don't deserve anything. I'm not giving you
But she
anything.
Still was willing to give him money after all of that.
Because she probably was like, let me just give him something to get him out of our face so we don't have to worry about it and just be done with it. Even though she didn't. Oh, and then look at this. This world is in such an entitlement stage. Entitlement. It doesn't matter if you work for it or not. You think if it's yours, you should have it.
Yeah.
You don't have to work for it. You don't have to do anything to have it. You should just have it. And it's just such an entitlement type of attitude and energy that's going on right now.
Yeah, this day and age, people are, it's unfortunate, kids, adults, you know, a little bit of everybody has that bad, horrible sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get out, and I'm not gonna say nobody, but there are a lot of people nowadays that don't want to get out and work for what they really need to have. I was having a conversation the other day with a prospect at work, and they were talking about why they want to move out of the Buckhead area in Atlanta. Now, if this was 5-10 years ago, when people say Buckhead, they think of wealth. They think of fancy homes. They think of fine dining.
Fine living.
But ever since quarantine happened, when people think of Buckhead, they think your car is, you go in somewhere and come out, your car is going to be broken into.
Or you're going to
get robbed. You might get robbed. You might get shot. Like, there's all these things going on. We went somewhere the other day. I'm like, oh, damn, we in Buckhead.
Right. And you would have never thought we said it about Buckhead, ever. Like, I'm like, where are we? How close are we to Lenox? Like, literally in an area that was once, you know, supposed to be up, you know, upscale and considered high living and luxury living. Now you thinking about if you're gonna have to duck when you drive through there. Because remember, no, it's not, but it's true, because you remember they killed the 7-year-old girl in the car that was driving by in Lenox Mall. They were leaving from shopping, got to shooting. The girl got shot.
Leaving from shopping, got to shooting, and she got shot.
And she got shot.
That's a mess.
Innocent. Just you minding your own business. All because people think they should have what they feel like they should have. Not what they work for, but what they feel like they should have. And that energy is just all over our country. Same thing, same reason why these people think they don't have to wear a mask. Because I don't have to. It doesn't matter. I'm not, because I don't have to. I'm entitled in my freedom. What you mean?
You're impeding on my rights.
What rights? Yes, please. What about my rights to be healthy? Like, come on, that's really...
Yeah, those are selfish people. And speaking of selfish people, I woke up this morning, tuned into the news, and I saw, 8 dead in Atlanta spa shooting. And I'm like, hold on, what the hell is going on here?
So my mama called me last night. I don't even know what's going on. I think I'm watching Law and Order or something. And she go, "Call, y'all okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's going on?" She said, "They shooting up in Atlanta." She makes my daughter out going to the store. She make me call my child, make sure it wasn't my child, because I had no idea what was going on. So I got to search. I don't even know. And this is what's going on.
Yes. So a 21-year-old white fella. What is his name? I believe his name was like Michael. Nope. His name was Robert Aaron Long of Woodstock, Georgia. He was caught on camera because he started out, I think it was like in Canton, Georgia, and he shot up like 5. He went into one place, shot 5 people. If I'm not mistaken, all of them were Asian, and some of them did end up dying. Then he hopped in, most likely was a pickup truck. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a pickup truck. It was like a little SUV. He hopped in the truck, drove down to like the Midtown-ish type area, and then he went into one spot, started busting cabs, walked across the street, did it again. Overall, 8 people were shot, and out of those 8 people that were shot and killed, 6 of them were Asian.
And I think they were all Asian women.
Yeah. And then I think they said it was like a Mexican man and like somebody else. But yeah, now the thing is, you know, people are talking about the Asian hate and how people need to stop the Asian hate, and how this is another form of domestic terrorism covered up by whites, or wrapped up in like the white supremacy. Some of that Trump residue. Because the thing is, what they said is Robert was captured alive. Now, when you are captured and alive, then you already knew what it was, because, and you know, people start bringing up like Rashard Brooks. They start bringing up George Floyd. They start bringing up a lot of these major cases and situations that could have allowed these people to maybe go to jail and walk home. These were nowhere near the extreme that these other people, like the boy that shot up the church, captured alive. Remember the white guy that shot up the church? Dylan something. Yeah, like and now this man captured alive. It's just crazy to me. Yeah.
And the people that have been killed by the hand of the police were doing nothing near what these people have done.
And you said one that shot up the church, but do you remember the guy? There was a Black Lives Matter rally, not a couple months back, but during the height of everything that was going on.
Okay.
And it was a white boy that was walking through with a big rifle.
In the crowd.
They captured him alive. And
sure did.
Yeah, so it's, it's just like, I'm not going to say every time you feel like we've gotten past something, because we're never going to get past the things that we go through. But it's like once one situation dies down, here's something else. And people are continuing to do stupid shit and then wonder why other people are angry.
Well, they're not going to be happy until we start shooting back.
Because
and then it's going to be a real problem. And then they're going to blame it on us. Why do
because
we get so
then they're going to feel like what they're doing is now justified.
Yeah.
In a larger sense, and it sucks.
Well, when they caught him, he said the reason why he did it was because he was struggling with sexual and porn addiction, and he felt like that these places were contributing to his addiction, and that he really needed to cleanse these places, and he was headed to Florida to continue the cleanse.
Because they caught him 150 miles away.
Yeah.
This man shot up 3 different places, miles, within miles away from each other, and then drives 150 miles, and then he's caught.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how much I believe that, but what I do believe is that he spoke to a good attorney. Well, I don't even know if he had spoke to an attorney or not. He might have thought it through. He might have been watching the news and saw that they were talking about a hate crime or whatever. But all these were the massage parlors and these type of massage parlors. Now we know they have
happy endings.
Happy endings, right? There's a certain type of massage parlor that these are. And so he was saying that these places were places that were contributing to his sexual addiction and his thing to porn that he's been trying to get rid of, and he felt like that he needed to cleanse. So obviously he knew all these places. I don't know if he had been there. I'm not sure if but he
check
knew
the
these
receipts.
I'm
he
sure.
Probably
I'm sure he's on camera somewhere. Yeah, he's on camera somewhere over there. So that's going to be crazy, because as much as we would want to believe that this is a target for Asian hate, he really is going to put up a case that this was a sexual addiction thing.
And then they're probably going to use, because we watch
of course,
they're most likely going to use the mental health defense.
Of course, because who in their right mind
scanning his brain.
Yeah, and he's gonna have some knot back here in the back that was putting pressure on him, and he couldn't think straight, and that's what happens.
That's what happens when you watch Law and Order SVU for 23 seasons. You start thinking of stuff that could very well be possible. I
watch Law. I don't even like SVU. Sorry, I don't even like SVU. I love Criminal Intent, and I like the regular Law and Order. SVU is too.
Your baby made it.
Yeah, sorry. She made it. SVU is a little bit much.
Too graphic.
It's too graphic.
See, I couldn't get into the other one, like the one with, I think it was Criminal Intent. That was too much.
Criminal Intent.
Then the regular one was cool until SVU slid up in there. Then they let the regular one go. And then there was another one.
I watch it all the time, like it's still new.
There were some more that they came out with. They didn't necessarily last as long.
I don't know which ones.
I feel like Terrence Howard was in one.
I don't remember that. Can y'all tell me what Law and Order Terrence Howard may have been in?
All we got to do is ask Google.
Oh, he's gonna Google it, because I remember the original. They had a lot of changes in that one. That was the best. And then Criminal Intent I love, because it really shows people being crazy, and you really got to go to a whole other level to try to figure out who did it. Like, I love that. But SVU, it was just too much for me.
Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Criminal Intent, Law and Order UK, Law and Order LA. That was the one.
They had Law and Order LA.
And then there was Law and Order True Crime, which was, when they did like different famous cases, so like the Menendez brothers and stuff like that.
I might have to go back and watch that one.
But then Law and Order Trial by Jury, that was another one. So they did have.
I don't remember all of them.
And then there's another one coming out. If you guys are familiar with the Law and Order SVU, bringing back Elliot Stabler.
Yes, I
for
saw
law
that.
or organized crime, and I think that comes out like the first week of April.
So he's only going to appear on SVU and then go over to a whole nother one.
They're reintroducing him, back in his natural environment, where we're familiar with him, and transitioning him over to his show.
So there's another Law and Order coming up.
Organized crime.
Do you think it'll ever be too many?
Too many law? No. Because different storylines, different cast members. Just like they do 911, just like they do Real Housewives of whoever now.
Man,
there's how many of those,
franchises?
Yeah, it's a lot.
There is a lot. There's a lot.
Put this in the background because in the next 5 minutes.
Okay, we'll put this in the background. So while he's putting that in the background, you guys, if you don't know what you're watching Live with TMarie. It is Wednesday, 8:00. In about a few minutes, we have the legendary group, The Whispers, is going to be joining us for an amazing interview. I'm excited about this, not only listening to their music, but talking to them, seeing what they're doing, seeing how relevant that they still are, seeing what memories you guys have from listening to The Whispers, from your mom to your grandma to your aunt to you, because you were like 7 running around while they were singing their song and sipping on their drink on a Saturday. Sipping that wine. So we're excited to talk about some of these songs, because I didn't know why they were still rocking steady, because that was my favorite.
Because they were steady rocking all night long.
I'm telling you. So we're gonna just have a great conversation with them. Go ahead and share. Go ahead, let your people know that we're gonna be on with them in a few minutes. Yeah. This is about to be so good.
Ooh.
What, you trying to get it fixed?
Yeah.
He was always trying to get it fixed, child. Y'all know how he gets down. He got it. So are you guys sharing right now? Are you sharing? Are you getting ready? Have you went and got your drink? Have you went and got your cocktail? I would have a cocktail, but I'm on a 30-day hiatus. I am cleansing right now, trying to get some things out of my system, getting myself kind of refreshed. I kind of give myself a little refresher. So no alcohol for me for 30 days. If you know me, you know no alcohol for me for 30 days is a dedication, because I have a drink not all the time, because I don't want y'all to think I'm an alcoholic. But
she don't have a drinking problem.
But often. I don't have a drinking problem.
She just likes to
drink. I just like to you make me sick flicking stuff.
I'm sorry, I'll be able to see, because they're not going to be able to see this really on Instagram.
Well, we're going to have to.
As much as I would hope.
Well, they'll have to. Oh, did you? Wow. Well, and so not only am I, not drinking while he's getting this way, I'm also only eating fish. I'm not eating any fried food, so I'm all my vegetables. I'm not drinking any soda, which I don't really drink anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Water, as much water as possible. But it just makes you feel better. So now I have to implement some. They can't see me over here, Q. Now I have to implement some exercise in that thing.
What's exercise?
Exercise. Listen, I tried to ride the bike the other day. I almost thought I was going to die, y'all. I rode the bike probably not even a half a mile. I came back and had to take a nap. I was exhausted, but it felt good. My body was just sort of
once you get used to it.
Yeah, and I just stopped. But my birthday's coming up in May, so I got to get ready, because we're going to Jamaica, man. Can't wait to go. You going?
I don't know. Depends on what's going on with this house. My realtor told me, hey, you can't be spending money right now, because you need to save this money for your house. Can you turn that light? That light is just...
No.
I think you need to.
No. Do you need a fan? You need some air.
No, it's in my eye.
Jeez. Well, narrow it in. Why are you even looking at that light? You supposed
I'm not looking, but my eye catch this gleam over here. This gleam is bothering
all the time with the
stuff. Y'all should see the before. Like, T is at home all day. I know what you guys say. She at home all day. I get off work. I come on over. She come downstairs probably after 30 minutes after I done been. Q, why didn't you set this up? I didn't come over here to work extra. I just came to sit down and come and talk to y'all.
So he think I'm supposed to have everything set up because it is my house. I mean, I get it.
What do you guys think? Somebody please let me know.
And maybe it might make sense, but this is the deal. I don't. I be ain't doing
Never does. 6 years later.
I'm just supposed to come in and
she's the host.
And so what? We come in and
I thought, you know what, I'm gonna tell y'all, I promise y'all. So I thought for all these years, it's TMarie Radio. Period.
No,
it's TMarie Radio.
No,
hold on. When we first started, it's TMarie. And then it was for about 2 years. It was it's TMarie Radio. Then it was it's TMarie Radio with TMarie and Que. And then I'm like, okay, if we change this name, then maybe, just maybe, she'll do more. Live with TMarie and Que. Nope. Next week when you guys join us and it's live with Que, then you know what happened.
He'll be at his damn house.
Snacking and
whatever. He ain't gonna, his ass gonna be right over here.
Uh-oh. Yes, it is.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you? I don't know what happened to you. You popped in and out.
Oh, I was there and then I wasn't, man.
Hi.
Wow, hey.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Well. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day.
Hey, listen, it's great to be with you guys.
You too. Everybody, it's Walter from the Whisper. Glad you can join us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I think we're waiting on the other two, right?
Yep. Y'all coming?
Yeah, they're coming. I'm sure they should be here.
They just want to pop you in here.
I heard that.
So how's your week been? How's it going?
Yeah, it's been great. I'm tugging along like everybody else, you know.
You've been surviving the coronavirus and
quarantine? Yeah. You know, we live out here where it's kind of up and down in Los Angeles, you know. Yeah. We're doing pretty good now, but a couple of weeks ago it was pretty tough, you know.
Yeah.
We were trying to record. We had to stop all of that because, you know, we didn't want to take any chances.
Right.
You guys are off lockdown now, right?
We're coming off lockdown somewhat. Yeah, it depends on the area that you're in, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it depends. So what area are you? Are you in a lockdown area or no lockdown area?
No, the area I'm in is not locked down. I'm out in the area, and I'm in the San Fernando Valley. If you know Los Angeles, then you know I'm kind of out of ways from the city. Okay. But people are self-distancing. You know, we still wear masks and all of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, if your state and your governor said that you don't have to wear a mask, say they took away the mask mandate, would you still wear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So, what do you think about the vaccine that they have going on? Is that something that you think would actually help?
Yes, I believe in it. I've had a shot. I've had both my shots, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Good.
And I'm telling people, you know, it's just, to me, it's another layer of protection, you know. I mean, I'll take all the protection I can get from this COVID-19. Right. I'm a stern believer. I think it's serious.
It is serious. It is serious. And if most of us took it more serious, we probably could get over it quicker, you know?
That's exactly right. That's how I feel about it, you know. I mean, but you know what? I got some members of my family that go way back, and they're kind of hesitant. And I'm not going to argue with them. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's Leaveil. In fact, he was one that said, you know, they got it too quick for him, you know?
Oh, so it's too quick for you, huh?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
So are you saying, Leaveil, you said the vaccine is too quick for you? You're not ready for it yet?
Well, no, I finally did it, you know, but, it took a while for them to convince me, and I think Tyler Perry had a lot to do with it. He did a show about the vaccine and, you know, and asked a lot of the questions that I had. So once he did that, I decided to deal with it. But I didn't want to deal with Moderna or even the Johnson products. So I chose to do the Pfizer.
Wow.
See, but I was told that, like, for most of us, we didn't have the option of which one.
No, you do.
We do.
Mm-hmm. You have the option.
Oh, see?
Yeah, you do.
No, yeah, you have the option. You do.
Yeah, but you guys, both of you guys are still. You still might be underage. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they won't let us slip up in there yet. We gotta wait like the rest of the other folks.
You gotta wait until people my age get it first, right?
Right. Like step aside, man. We gotta let these other folks get here first.
Yeah, well, you know what? In a minute, everybody gonna be able to get it, and I advise everybody to get it.
Yeah, in the next 2 months, I think everybody should
have it by May. They say by May everybody should be able to get it.
Yeah, yeah. And what's up with Scotty?
I don't know. You haven't got on yet, huh?
Scott don't want to talk to us. What's the deal? What's that about?
Yeah, man, he should have been on here.
Well, let's talk about what Scotty's trying to wait on him. Let's talk about you guys. What you have going on right now? You guys have not missed a beat, doesn't seem like.
In almost 60 years.
What?
Yeah.
Still doing it.
Steady rocking.
Rocking. Listen, when they told me we was gonna be doing the whispers, all I could think, you. When you told me we was gonna be interviewing the whispers, all I could sing was Rock Steady for like 24 days.
That's the only one that she know all the words to.
Well, yeah, the only song.
I ain't say it was the only one you know. That's the one you know all the words.
So that's my song right there.
Well, that is so great to hear. I tell you, we had so much fun doing that. But you're right, we've been blessed. That's all I can tell you.
Yes.
Around. If anybody would have told us that we would have been around this long and still singing, I'd have laughed at them and said, "You're crazy." But, hey, here we are. We're still here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to say this. I wanted to thank you guys because chances are you are a part of the reason why I'm sitting here today.
So thanks.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could be of help.
A whisper song at every family function growing up.
Yes.
I'm telling you. And to this day, like I'm an old school music lover at heart. And I'm telling you, you guys are honestly a part of my top 5. And I'm not just saying that because you're on camera with me right now.
Right.
Like
it's the truth.
It's the Whispers, Anita Baker, Dionne Warwick, Marvin, and the Temptations for me.
That's a heck of a list you got there.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a list you got.
Right.
I want your list.
What do you attribute to being able to stay so relevant for so long? Because everybody knows who you are. Even if you talk to some of the younger people younger than us, they know who you are. So what's the secret, or how were you able to stay relevant for so long?
You know, you're probably going to get one answer from Leaveil and one for me and Scotty whenever he gets on. But I think it really is first of all, we sing the music that I think everybody loves. You don't hear the term much anymore, R&B.
Right.
We're in the era of hip hop, and I dig that too. I love hip hop, but R&B, number one, we were smart enough to choose to sing R&B music, and we've been blessed. We got the greatest fans in the world. They've been with us all along, and it's always been them who we really considered. We've been nominated for the Grammys and American Music and all of that. But what means the most to us is our fans. I think that they kept us here for this time. And we just feel like we're the luckiest guys in the world. We'd have done this for free. And whoever thought they was going to pay us to sing, you know?
Right.
Exactly. And
so let's go back to the 60s. Now, you guys weren't the Whispers when you first started. Am I right?
Yeah, it started as the Whispers, but we came together on a talent show. We weren't the Whispers on that talent show. In fact, the group that was called the Eden Trio, and Scotty and I were singing as the Scott Twins. And we were both waiting to go on to do our act, and this is in the middle 60s, when Motown was big, and vocal groups was a thing, stand-up vocal groups. So we said, hey, you know what? We were backstage singing along with each other, waiting to go on, and we sounded pretty good. So we said, after this talent show, why don't we just put our talents together, me and Scotty and Nicholas Marcus and another young man by the name of Gordy Harmon, and that's where we formed the group right then and there.
Wow. That's a super type of chemistry. Y'all must have been singing y'all butt off.
Oh no, it was big fun at the time. If you guys are too young, the early days of Motown was just incredible. I mean, before Tops, the Temptations, the Supremes. I mean, all of this was just great music, and we were no different than anybody else. We were singing that music along with everybody else.
Yep.
Well, Leaveil, give me some take on how you felt, how the Whispers, has influenced your life, how it's changed your life, how, it, may have made a difference in your life. But what has it meant to you to be a part of such an amazing and legendary group?
Oh God, it's it's been probably, I could say, actually, it's been the best journey of my life. I mean, before I'm always aspired to be in a vocal group, but never really looked at it like most people don't. They don't look at it as something that's going to really happen. It's almost like getting drafted into the NBA, to be with a successful group. And so for me, it was just a blessing. They always say that, your destiny is not really programmed by you. It's a higher power. So I was wanted to be a police officer, and then I wanted to be a pilot, and was well on my way to being a pilot. And as a matter of fact, I wind up accomplishing that at the same time. But it just opened up so many doors of things that you can, that you can provide for your family. It changes your life in that respect, and you can, kind of drain through your family and your kids and things like that, and provide, a healthy, environment for them. So when I look at it, I always, me and the guys, they'll tell you how I am about it. I mean, to me, without the people, I mean, the whispers are the crutch of what, are giving me a shot to be a part of a group like this, and which is what I wanted to be a part of this type of group forever. I mean, I was with other little groups, and you get a fight and they break up,
Right.
and I tell people, people say, do you guys fight? You guys get along? I say, yeah, we fight like hell. But 2 seconds later, we're going to have lunch or have breakfast or whatever the case may be, because it's not something that we hold on to. You know what I'm saying? So we move on because it's about the greater good. So for me to be a part of something like that, and to experience the life that I've had, the travels that I've had, the accomplishments, I mean, for as awards and things, man, it is something that when I look back, matter of fact, me and my wife were talking about the other day. I said, once I retire, I won't be that guy that's going to be going to, backstage saying, hey, remember me? Remember me? I won't be that guy. I'll be the guy that says, okay, I'm passing the ball off to the next generation of entertainers. And, and I just feel like, that we've accomplished a lot. I think we still are, I think, we're one of the best groups out there. Yeah. I mean, our legacy has been stamped, in history forever. So it's just been the greatest experience of my life, really.
So when you guys talk about retirement, I mean, you've been in the industry for, 60 years at this point. Like, what does retirement look like for you guys? Cutting down on the amount of shows, not recording. What does that look like for you guys?
Well, for me, you know what? You guys, two young people, you go to concerts, and let's be honest, when you're looking at a group that they've had their best days. You might not want to say, well, they through. But we've always said that when we really reach the point to where we can't do it anymore, we're not going to lie to ourselves, No.
Mm-hmm.
And God is blessed. I don't know how and why, but here after 54 years, I still sing in the same key that I sang in when I was 19 years old.
You better sing, son.
I mean, so, the good Lord is telling us, but you know what? There will come a time when I know that, can't hit them notes no more, That's the time you got to be honest with yourself, And what you have to think about is that, am I going out here and give these people who paid their hard-earned money a half show? I don't want to do that. So I don't know if you've seen us lately, but we still can bring it, And as long as we can do that, we're going to be honest enough. It's just I wish I could tell you what a great honor it is to go out on stage and listen to the roar of the audience when they hear one of our hit songs that we recorded over 20, 30 years ago. There's no feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? And we're just so, like Leaveil said, we're blessed to have that. But when it's over, you got to be honest with yourself and say, you know what, we had a hell of a run. Now it's time to turn it over to people like you guys, the younger generation, and let you do your thing. That's how we feel about that.
So, performing for over 5 decades, which decade or era of music was your favorite?
Wow. Well, you probably get. Well, I think we'd be unanimous on this. or maybe not, because I know we're so different. But I think 1979, 80 was the year that everything changed for us. That was really where people really knew 100 who the Whispers were, and that was because of our first, really our biggest hit album called The Whispers, and it had Rock Steady on it. And that particular album it changed our lives. It changed everything, how we looked at things, what we could, we played clubs and things like that, but we had a chance to see what really success was about. Our whole venues changed. We were playing in bigger arenas. Of course, your money goes up. I mean, it allowed you, like I said before, to provide differently for your family. So I think 1979 and 80 was the year that everything changed for the Whispers.
Yeah, that Rock Steady gets me still right now. That is my favorite. I'm telling you, my favorite Whispers song. I love that song. Love it.
Well, strangely enough, that came about 7 years later.
Yeah.
Like Leaveil said, in 1979, 80, And the Beat Goes On was the biggest hit to this day that we've ever had. And little did we know about 7 years later that we'd have a hit almost as big, and so both of them were great feelings, no question about it. Scotty puts it like this: we was finally able to get our little shit out the cleaners. That's how he puts it. You get his record, and a lot of things change. Our whole life, and what it really said, our audience said to us, guys, we like what you do. When you sell 2 million copies of anything, if that's not enough of a validation, and we had been working a long time. In 1980, we had been singing 14 years. And it was so funny to hear people say, have you heard this new group called The Whispers? And we would just laugh because we weren't new.
Right.
But what it really said is, I tell young people this all the time, is that we didn't give up. We kept on. Now, it got close. My mom and dad, our mother and father said, wait a minute, y'all got to get some jobs with some benefits.
Right.
This entertainment thing is kind of rough.
Right.
But we stuck to it, and lo and behold, come 1980, we had the first bona fide hit. And for the next 10 years, everything we touched was either gold or platinum. So we've been very blessed.
Speaking of it being rough, we were talking earlier about Anita Baker not having control of her masters, masters. And tell me how that was, or how that went for you when you started thinking about your music and controlling your music and controlling your destiny. How important was it to have control of those things, like your masters and things of that nature? Do you still? And right now, how does that benefit you or not benefit you?
Let me tell you about my question.
That was your question?
Yeah, I know.
Because I want to know that same thing when you guys started the production company. So same thing.
Well, it was a little different from us because we didn't write all of our songs. The primary writer in our group was Nicholas Caldwell, who wrote Say Yes and Lady. We lost him in 2016. But if you remember when Prince went through the same thing with Warner Brothers, they wanted his masters. And in Prince's case, you can understand why he drew the thing on his jaw and was so important to him, because everything he did, he wrote. So he owned it outright. And what he basically said is the same thing that the young rappers said 20 years later, which I admire them for. He basically told Warner Brothers, before I give it to you, I'll sell it out of the trunk of my car. Right. I'm not letting you own me. Right. Anita Baker went through the same thing. Anita was kind of like us because she sang songs that were written by various people, but because she was so big, she shared in the publishing as we did, and we wanted that right to do that. And record companies, like all record companies, they want to own as much of you as they can. And so, we had a big fight with Dick Griffey, the owner of Solar Records, and it stalled us. We were stalled for 2 years fighting over our rights. And it's the same old story. Now, today, it's totally different. Beyonce and Jay-Z and all of the young people today, I admire them greatly because they own all of their stuff. Right. And what they basically told the music industry is that before we let you own our shit, excuse my expression, we're not going to let you own our stuff. We'll sell it out of the trunk of our car before we give it to you.
That's right.
That's the stand that we tried to take in the 60s, but we just didn't have the power. This country hadn't come to a point to where they would let us do that. But as things go on, like everything, it got better and better for the younger generation. So I understand where Anita Baker's coming from. A lot of, before us, it was Chuck Berry, it's Little Richard. They all went through the same thing. Some of them got paid. In the end, I think James Brown got a huge settlement, Little Richard got a huge settlement, but it still wasn't enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ownership means everything. Oh, there's Scotty.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I have to apologize. I'm truly sorry. I ain't nothing I can say except you forget shit.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, but anything, what I was saying to talk about these masters, it's so important that you own as much of your music as you can. Because when you own it, it ain't about the spotlight. Now you own it. When every time it spins, you are paid. You know what I'm saying? So ownership means everything.
Well, y'all should expect a nice little check because we've been streaming this music for the last couple weeks.
Oh, thank you so much.
For your payout of streaming versus spinning, as you just said, radio versus being on these platforms. What's the difference in the payout?
It's a little different, now, we're not selling albums and CD, you're selling CDs, but to a lesser extent. Now people can just buy a portion of your music, so it's not as big a payoff in the beginning, but like everything, the more they spend it, the more you make. But the key to it is that when you're on the platform, you got to ask yourself, what's being spun, and is it mine?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do I own it?
Right.
Because no matter how much it's spent, if you own it, then you determine who makes what.
Right.
That's the whole difference of the whole ball game.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? If you determine how the money is made, you running this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So these platforms that they have now, people are on them, they're owning their own material, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Scotty, once again, welcome to the party.
Thank you for having us.
Questions earlier, and we want to ask you, what do you think your secret is, being a part of this amazing group for almost 6 decades? What do you think the secret is for you guys to, your longevity?
Well, you know what? I think we're going to start out with desperation. and then it's our fans.
Yeah.
Our fans have allowed us to be here all this time, and we had enough sense to realize at an early stage in our career, be what you are, not what you ain't. And I'm thoroughly convinced that's why we're still here 54 years later.
So your fans and being original, just staying true to yourself.
Yep. You know who you are. Don't try to be something you're not. I love all the other stuff, but I wish I could do all the other stuff, but I know I can't. But what I can do, stick to that and do the hell out of it, and it will help you, I think, in the long run.
So y'all still doing those dance moves though? Like, can you still spin? Can you still
Yeah, buddy. Still doing them. Yeah, that's what I was telling you earlier. When I told you, you know what? I can't wait to get on. You guys are coming from what city?
We're in Atlanta.
Oh, we cannot wait to get back to Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you've seen our show, oh yeah, we still stepping, and we don't make no bones about it. I mean, I don't know how we doing it. All I know is we still can do it.
Thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to get back to Atlanta for 2 reasons. Number one, we love the city of Atlanta, but your city and state, you guys have done something that has affected the whole entire world, not just the United States. The city of Georgia,
The city of Atlanta.
Huh?
The city of Atlanta in Georgia.
Yeah, both. Yeah, the city, but the state. The fact that you got 2 black senators now.
Yes, we did. Yes.
I hope you realize what an important. I mean, this has affected the way this entire country does business. I mean, I don't know if black people really understand how important it was to make sure that those 2 senators were elected. And you guys did it. And what I'm so proud of is that, don't tell me that black people don't go to the polls. And, because Atlanta, Georgia, and the state of Georgia showed them that just wasn't true. And as a result, the whole world, because the United States is the most powerful country on earth, Georgia made it possible for the United States to operate in a way where people that look like you and me, we got a shot.
That's right.
That's how important it is.
Absolutely.
And we were proud of our city because where people thought we weren't going to show up and they tried to do everything that they could to discourage us from showing up, we showed up. And that's just not our city. That's just how our people, our community is built. We're built to overcome no matter what they're trying to do to us. When we want something, Atlanta, we're going to stand up and we're going to go get it.
But you know what? Atlanta as well, but then also I'm going to have to say the world. Because if it wasn't for everybody doing their part, we wouldn't have Joe, we wouldn't have Kamala, definitely shout out to everybody who did their part to vote. And remember, the vote is not done yet.
Right.
Still got more vote to do.
More now than ever.
Months.
Boy, that's so great to hear young people your age talk about politics, because I'm telling you, there was a time with black people, they said, God told me, he said, ain't nothing in it for me. What am I voting for? I had to explain, brother, that's not the case. That vote that does things when you in your bed sleeping, you ain't thinking about it. You get some life that you don't understand.
Right.
And to have young people like y'all talking about it, that's what brings it about.
We have to be educated. And then it's our responsibility to educate those who don't know. Because for a long time, our community just had no idea how important their vote was, and then how important voting outside of the presidency was.
Yes.
So we learned that because we learned how important those positions were going to be for our lifestyle moving forward. So we have to educate ourselves. We have to continue to educate our community.
Right. We were blessed enough to have this platform and have people that continue to support us. So we had to do our research and do what we had to do to inspire other people to do what they needed to do to, get to where we are today.
Yeah, and you did a great job. Stacey Abrams, I mean, like most people, I wasn't that great up on politics, but man, she was on television enough to explain. And when you listen, she tells you how important it was. And like you said, the people in Georgia, they showed up and showed out.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
So when do we think, I mean, I know we're still in the whole pandemic still, but has there been any talk about planning a tour?
Yeah, I think the country, I feel like the country with the vaccines now, I think you can kind of feel that it's lightening up.
Yeah.
The guy that did our latest tune called How Long, he lives there in Atlanta. His name is Magic Mendez. He's our bass player, and that's his home in Atlanta. But he's coming out at the end of the month, at the end of March, and we're going to finally get back. What we ended up doing, we recorded in Scotty's garage. We still wear masks to record. Mm-hmm. But we talked to him a couple of days ago, and we plan to have something out probably by June, but hopefully by the end of the year, we can be back touring. I mean, if not, at the earliest, in 22. But we're looking forward to it. I can't wait.
So
forward to it too.
And when it comes to the new music, like, what can we expect? What's going to be classic Whispers, and what's going to be, reflective of the time?
Well, Scotty just told you, we're gonna be who we are and not who you. It's one thing about the Whispers. When you hear their music, you say that's the Whispers.
Oh yeah.
The tunes that we're working on now, Leaveil can tell you, we're gonna be toasting the ladies. We sing about love. We sing about romance. We sing about respecting our beautiful ladies, our mothers, our sisters. So we got a couple of tunes that we're in the studio working on now, and when you hear them, you're gonna say that's the Whispers doing what they do.
I love it.
I know that's right.
Scotty, how important is that though to keep that same tune about loving your women, loving and respecting relationships? Because the way relationships kind of reflect right now, anything goes. It just depends. But still being able to bring that music out about love songs and loving and respecting your lady, how important is that?
Well, love conquers all. I mean, love is love. It don't matter. I'd rather deal with the love than the hate.
Yeah.
And the theme for us is gonna always be love your mother, love your sister, like Walt said, you know, the ladies, but love, period. The song the one that we just did, based on what we saw happening to George Floyd, believe it or not, the message in there was saying, if you loved each other and treated people the way you wanted to be treated, we'd have never had that in the first place.
Wow.
So the theme is not going to change. It's not. It's still going to be about love, you know. And if you love somebody, you can get along with them. If you hate them, I don't have to tell you what can happen.
Right.
Now you know what? Now this is a question that I have wanted to ask for years. I've listened to the music over and over. I tried to watch the videos. Now, Mr. Scotty, Mr. Walter, you guys, of course, y'all are twins. And it seems like you guys have the same voice, but I know it's something that separates you two from each other. Like, I feel like one's a little smoother and one's a little higher.
Oh, you just
did it.
You
just did it. You just did it. I sing about almost a half step higher than my brother. My brother is Mr. Smooth. You're right. I mean, you couldn't have said it no better. That's pretty much what it is. You know, back in the day, we would always argue about, you know, who wanted to do this lead and who wanted to do that. But our voices are pretty much identical. And with the exception of what you just said, depending on what key the song was in, sometimes it would have to go to me because it was a little bit higher. And if it's a little bit lower, we would give it to Walt because that's his area and he's smooth with it.
Yeah.
Well, I got a confession to make. I'll let you guys in on the secret. Scotty's being nice. We used to fight all the time about who was going to do. Both of us wanted to do the whole song. No question about it.
Right.
So we finally settled. You know, like you said, I tend to do the kind of smooth, pretty thing. Scotty does the sober thing. The one song that Scotty did do all by himself, and he was doing it so good, I couldn't dare come in and interrupt anything. And that's a song called Lady.
Ooh.
We were in the studio.
That's my grandmother's song.
That's funny. You know, if you've been in the studio, we usually take like 9 or 10 takes of a song. Scotty we ended up keeping the first take that Scotty did on Lady.
Wow.
He was so into it. Now, we did other takes, but we knew when he finished that first take, it had the feel. We all in our hearts knew that we had a hit. And that's the one time that I did not argue with him. I didn't say no. He ended up singing that whole song. And, you know, we used to tickle Leaveil and Nick because they would laugh. I want to do the whole verse. Scotty wanted to do the whole verse. So we finally decided, let Scotty do the soulful part and you do the smooth part. But on Lady, Scotty did the whole thing and he did the hell out of it.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
What I want to know, out of all the music videos that you guys have done, what is your favorite? Yeah. Like, which one was the most fun that did not feel like work at all?
Wow. Well, to me, I think it might not have been the best one, but to me, it was And the Beat Goes On. And the reason why I say And the Beat Goes On, because that number one, that was the biggest song we ever actually had. And when that song came along, it really did change our lives. Mm-hmm. You know, when we had been getting close and, you know, we almost get there and wouldn't quite make it. Finally, the night we finished And the Beat Goes On, we said, if this don't make it, then it's time to go do something else. But we knew the night we finished And the Beat Goes On that was going to be the biggest record up to that point that we had. So to me, I point to that song for almost everything because it literally changed my life and the Whispered lives. Mm-hmm. You know.
I think for me,
what do you think?
Well, I think for me, And the Beat Goes On, when we put that out, that wasn't an easy night in the studio. That was probably one of the most difficult nights in the studio ever. But I think that when we moved on and we wound up having another big hit, which the young lady was talking about, Steady. That to me was one of the great nights that we had because working with Babyface, we had just finished doing a ballad for him, you know, called In the Mood. And
other song.
And so that night after we finished that, I mean, it just was, everything was flowing. Everything was And we found out how genius that man was going to wind up being in the future and how great he was going to be as a producer. But I tell this story because it was just amazing to me. That same night we were talking, and I said, man, In the Mood is, man, if that ain't a smash, nothing else is. I mean, we knew it right off the bat. I said, but man, we need that up tempo, man. Can you come with an up tempo? We need an up tempo like, and the beat goes on. Can you do something like that? He says, okay. And this was about 12 o'clock at night when we were finished. He said, okay, I'll be back tomorrow with another hit. And I'm like,
Okay.
you're gonna be back tomorrow with another hit. I mean, how arrogant is that, you know? But sure enough, he walked in there with his little 4-track player that he actually, like, he had 24 tracks on a 4-track player, and he played that song, and we were like, oh my God. Rocksteady was born right there, and we were like, oh my God, this guy is too bad. But it was just shocking that he says, oh, no problem. I'll be back tomorrow with one. Later, he was with another song. Yep.
Yeah, those two guys were Babyface, L.A. Reid at the time. Kenny, his name is Kenny Edmonds. Antonio Reid. They weren't known as Face in L.A. at the time, but I never will forget. We told Dick Griffey, the guy that owned Solar Records, we met those two guys in your city, by the way.
Yep.
We were down in Atlanta doing the Atlanta Festival that that used to take place every year. And LA and Face were down there, and they were basically going to groups submitting songs. Now, if you remember, Babyface in LA, they were members of a group called The Deal.
Yeah.
And if you remember, they all wanted to be like Prince. I mean, it was amazing when we first met them.
Everything.
They had their hair done. Yeah, no question. I mean, they had makeup. But it's funny. The songs that Babyface was writing, The Deal didn't want to sing those songs. Excuse me. They didn't want to sing In the Mood. They didn't want to sing Rocksteady.
Right.
So basically what they ended up doing when they submitted those songs to us, we were in the studio. We said, great Deal. I'm so glad that you don't like them.
Right. We'll take them.
Yeah. Remember, The Deal went on to become, who they were in their style. But like Leaveil told you, we thought these two kids were so arrogant because when Leaveil said, man, we need something like And the Beat Goes On, Face said, don't worry, tomorrow night I'll come back with it. Don't worry about it. And we laughed. They young, they talking all this stuff. You don't come back with another And the Beat Goes On 24 hours later. Lo and behold, that's exactly what they did.
That's exactly what they did, yep.
Not only did they come back with that, but they came back with the Deal had a hit on them called Two Occasions.
Mm-hmm.
He had that in his repertoire when he came back, and then Portrait had a song called Roses Are Red. That was a hit.
Yeah.
And he had both of those too. The problem was that we couldn't do them because we had already had enough songs for our album on our CD at that time, and so we couldn't use them. But now looking back, God, man, I wish we would have put them on there
because can't get enough hits.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, like top 3 whisper songs?
I already told you. Rocksteady is one of them, right? In the Mood is my other one. Yeah, that one was like for real. Don't make me sing it, cause
Go ahead on, let me hear a little bit of it.
But then And the Beat Goes On. So those were my 3 when we talked about it. So listen, so Q, we were talking earlier, Q's a little younger than me. I'm a little older than Q, but I always talk about your newer, the 80s songs, and his songs are the older whisper songs. So what's your favorite 3?
So honestly, I love Welcome Into My Dream.
Yeah.
Like that is my song.
Oh, yeah.
Love is where you find it. That's
wow.
And the video to go along with it.
Yeah,
like they sit around that dining room table just.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And I'm gonna go with Do They Turn You On? Because my grandmother, that's a song I played.
Boy.
The favorite songs, but the favorite album, I'm gonna go with Happy Holidays to You. That Christmas album, that one, it's not
you're right.
Unless
you play
I'm
that.
listening to that.
Right.
Boy, you're right. This is a young man It's got an old spirit. I'm telling you, bro.
Yes.
Because every song that he liked, he got my favorites in there. Brothers, where you find it is my favorite.
Wow.
I want to see you down the line. I'm telling you the truth now.
Oh man, that is amazing. I'm telling you, man, you're too young to know anything about those songs. That's amazing.
Yeah. But good music transcends all ages. It doesn't matter how old you are. You guys just produced amazing music. And if you're a music lover of any kind and you like music, you're going to go back to the Whispers. There's no way you can't include you when you're talking about the history of amazing music and still being relevant today. So, I mean, how could we not?
Oh, listen, hey, we just appreciate you two guys for giving us this opportunity on the platform to talk about our music. We don't take this. We really do appreciate that. No question.
We can't wait till you come to Atlanta because we want to be in on the
like we need to come backstage.
Oh no, we want to make that happen.
Well, we can't wait to get to Atlanta. That's for sure.
We're gonna make that happen. We're gonna make sure that happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the hookup that you did, Willette, just contact her and we'll make sure that we can see each other in Atlanta and party out together.
We can't wait. We're excited about that.
Sounds good.
I'm so glad to be interviewing with you guys because I'm telling you, I can't wait to see you dance because the videos when you dance is always gonna be my thing. Y'all got the smoothest moves ever, just like.
Hold on, which video is it? I can't think of it right now.
The one I showed you yesterday.
With the newspaper.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Scotty. Hey, Scotty. Yeah.
Keep on loving me.
Keep on loving me.
I've never seen nobody walk down the street so smooth.
Yeah, man.
Boy, I tell you, hey, Scotty, what that mean? That's exactly.
Keep on loving me.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Now, it was another video. I was watching it the other day. I was in Cleveland last week with my mother, and I turned to YouTube, and all I saw, I'm like, oh, look at this old Mercedes. Now, the old Mercedes is what got me. It was brown. Y'all probably know which one it was. Then you fast forward just a little bit, and I'm like, oh,
was that your car now?
Huh?
No, you had a Porsche.
No, I had a Porsche.
That was we went out in Calabasas and cut that video. That was my car.
Yeah.
Yeah. You saw that the other day, huh? I'm gonna have to go check that out myself.
Yeah. It was on my mother's playlist.
Wow, that's incredible.
We can't thank y'all enough.
You tell because without your mom, we wouldn't have these Whisper fans. Believe me.
Yes. better know it.
And like I said earlier, Mr. Scotty, you missed this, but I said without the Whispers, I probably would not be sitting here today.
Oh wow, that's an incredible compliment, man. I can't thank you.
On Friday and Saturday nights when the family would get together, the kids would go in the basement, the grown-ups upstairs with the dark liquor.
Right.
You already know. That was a good time.
Yep.
We just appreciate you guys so much for joining us, for allowing yourselves to come and bless our audience. We are getting so many comments and everything. People are so excited to see you. They're glad that you're here. They love who you are and who you'll always be.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for giving us this opportunity. Believe me. Now all we got to do is hook up in Atlanta and hang out.
That's
right.
I
was about to say, when that new record dropped, when that tour is booked, definitely and we'll be paying attention to Instagram. Right. That's how we find you guys. But
you got it.
We will absolutely look forward to that.
Yeah, and I'd like to also, man, I'd like to right now, just kind of shout out condolences to the family, Reggie Warren of Troop.
That's right. Yeah.
And he was one of the original members of Troop, and he passed a couple of days ago, and we just want to send our heartfelt condolences to his family and Troop as well, because I know that as his brothers, they're probably going through it as well. But he's 52 years old. It hit me because we've been singing longer than he actually lived.
Alive. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. I didn't even know that. I just heard that, Leaveil.
Yeah. I just, I catch everything on Facebook and stuff, and I saw that, and I was like,
wow. Sorry to hear that.
52 years old. He had been suffering with with ongoing illness, but they sent him home, and he passed at home with his family all around him. So we just want to let him know that our hearts are with him. And
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sounds good. All right. All right, guys. Once again, thank you guys so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate you guys, and much continued success to, I would say, to another 60 years, but I heard retirement earlier, so.
We still got some things we're going to do before we retire, so we're going to be here a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be there.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, guys. It's a pleasure. Take care.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
God bless.
Right. Take care. God bless you.
Yes.
Oh, that was awesome.
Wow.
Wasn't that awesome?
Good job.
Thank you, Chad.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Wow. We just interviewed the Whisper.
Yeah, you know how we do.
You know what? Like, it's been 6 years since she and I have been working together. We've interviewed some amazing people.
Yeah. Really,
it's been, for me, I think about 11 years since I actually got into the industry where I was interviewing and, stuff like that. And I would honestly say that is one of the top 10 interviews of my life.
And see, before we got together, I worked at V for 2 years. So I've met some amazing stars. I worked with some. And that was, been in the studio when they were, because I was working as an entertainment producer for L. So, that was an amazing video.
Interview. And I'm just going to take a moment to slide a little Quinspiration in there because, a lot of times, you're sitting at home, and for us, when you were maybe in Kentucky or I was in Cleveland, you're sitting here and you're enjoying music and you're watching things on TV, but never do you think that these very people that you're watching and enjoying, you'll be in the presence of these people. So when you have a vision, when something has been placed in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind, in your soul, listen to it, go with it, and do it. Don't give up. A lot of people have given up when they've heard no. And because of that, they may have missed out on an opportunity. I can't tell you, it's been a couple people that we've interviewed, but those interviews came after a couple no's. So absolutely. When something means a lot to you and there's something out here that you want to do it. Don't worry about who is in the background, with the negative talk or the no or the lack of support. Just get out here and do it. Because at the end of the day, you have to please you. And right now, I'm pleased.
Maybe that was saying heavy on his heart. Do you hear me? He has to get that out. But he's right, though, you guys. We've had some amazing opportunities. We've been blessed with some amazing opportunities just because we continue to go on and have the audacity to continue to go on and on. No matter how we may go do something for a couple of minutes and come back to it, this platform has always been blessed. And I think I'm very excited about where we're going, where we're headed. And I'm glad that you guys are here with us. And we appreciate it so much. You guys have been here with us no matter what, through the thick and the thin. You rock with us.
So shout out to you. You know what? To you. I'm ready for some you heard it here first type stuff. Now we did the Whispers. Now that was an amazing idea. So I'm gonna say before 2020 is over, pick 2 people who you want. Now one, I'm just gonna say it.
Who?
Dionne Warwick. I love Dionne. Dionne, I loved her before, but now she's popping on Twitter, and I feel like she would be a good interview.
You know who I want? Mary J. That's my honey.
Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige. You'll see us, but no, Mary J. been with me since college. I'm telling you, and that's always been, my spirit sister.
Your spirit sister. Go ahead. I got you. I'm listening.
That's my spirit sister. So I think that interview we need to get to. I think we're going to get Mary J. Blige in here. Because I know she's got some music that's about to be popping after all the sit down. Y'all see how good Mary look? Mary looks freaking amazing.
Now, when you say getting better with time, Mary is getting better. And a lot of these stars are getting better. As they get, because they're getting a little more money.
Well, look at me.
Or whatever. Well, I didn't know you when you was young. But
I'm going to show you, but that was
from
exactly
the pictures I've seen, yeah, she's getting better with time.
I don't even know how to take it.
No, just like I love you.
I don't even know how to take it. I'm just got a little feeling about that, but it's okay. I'll take it.
But you know what? Okay, so you said Mary. I said Dion. Mm-hmm. Who else?
Got one more? Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to go with Anita. Why not? I'm going with Anita.
You're going with Anita.
That's if she unblocked me on
Right, y'all don't know that Anita blocked Q.
3 years. I didn't even do anything to her. I think I liked something when she was back in the day when she was going through that Twitter war with that Cheryl Landlady.
Oh.
And I think I may have replied and said something, but it wasn't like, nothing like that. Next thing I know,
she was done.
Boop, you're gone.
You're done. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll come back. When you say getting better with like fine wine, can I announce something? Can I say something? Can I announce something? Now y'all know, right? Y'all know I like to drink, and I've been taking a 30-day hiatus from drinking. But I need you guys to get your budgets together, right? And if you're in town on May 22nd, come out and celebrate. Not only is that my birthday.
Her birthday.
That's my birthday, the actual day, May 22nd. But guess what else day it is? It's a release day. Release for what? My album? No, not yet. My clothing line? No, child. One of my favorite things to do. I have a wine line coming out in May.
Hold on, Nancy.
Yes, your girl has a wine line that's coming out in May. It's called Tasty Moscato. And I cannot wait to introduce it to you guys. So be sure you line your pockets and support.
Absolutely.
It's going to be an amazing tasting wine. So get your pockets ready because it's in.
Well, hey guys.
Right.
We don't know.
Oh,
let's just go ahead and turn it right here. So look, as you know, here, hold that right there.
Right,
we had a little technical difficulties,
right,
so we just wanted
like
to come back and end the show. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys for always supporting us. To the families, friends, whatever that were definitely coming to show and support us because of the whispers. We still appreciate you.
Right, we appreciate you anyway.
Thanks for the love and the comments. Thank you. Next, I don't like to see this. Just stay right here. So next week, guys, we are back. As of now, Gene Noble He is an R&B artist that has a song called Matching Tattoos.
Matching Tattoos. That song is one of my favorite songs. I love that song. So we can't wait to interview him.
Yes. So we appreciate you guys.
I'm just gonna lean on this show.
Once this is done, you guys can share this video. Share. Yeah, and we love you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. See you later, alligator. Bye. See you next week.